we find ourselves tonight in uncharted territory. As I look at my watch, it's only 10:09 p.m. Normally, we're at about 11:15 p.m. So a round of applause to our MC, who is the greatest cat herder ever. There may still be an after party tonight that is in this current day. Teammates and friends, it's an honor to be here. Senator Ernst, Representative Issa, Representative Jackson, Secretary Colby, General Petraeus, General Casey, who my dad worked for, Ambassador Patterson, distinguished guests, teammates, family, friends, good evening. I'm deeply humbled to be here tonight to recognize these incredible leaders. Ambassador Crocker, great words, and thank you, sir, for remembering extortion. Very meaningful. Ms. Doyle, you are Virginia Hall, and your words were absolutely perfect. Thank you. And Chief Riley, I too, when I was a young SAC officer, wrote a cable that I wish I had not. Your humility and credibility. I was the victim of a guy named Matt Falk, who you probably know, who called me and said, "What are you doing?" But thank you for your leadership and service, and your words were absolutely perfect. And congratulations to you all for your awards tonight. To the OSS Society, Charles, thank you for everything that you do to pull this great event together. Just look around what you've built to remember the legacy of Wild Bill Donovan, those extraordinary leaders. You're an amazing steward of this legacy. I also want to recognize tonight those in this room who've quietly focused on the deed and never the glory. There are in this room legends of our tradecraft, both on the CIA side and also on the military side. DSAC is here, SIS leaders, members of the Joint Force, folks who've been out there and done the deed over and over and over again. So thank you so much. Sometimes we get to talk about our heroes, and tonight I get to start by talking about Dawn Fenton, Brian Fenton's wife. Dawn, we know, all of us that know and love the Fenton family know that he did not do this alone, and for more than 30 years, you have been there and done that with him, between raising two extraordinary daughters to standing the watch on countless nights as Brian went out and did our nation's deed. You have always done this with courage and an extraordinary grace. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for Dawn. And those of us that love Brian Fenton know the rucksack you've been carrying. Tonight is about service. And as I look around the room, I'm struck by the patriots that are in this room who've been there and done that. As leaders and as teammates in this business, we understand that it is, in fact, all about the people. And it's true that in every case and time, when things are truly tested, it requires leaders who are willing to go there and do that, leaders who are willing to go to the tactical edge, and leaders who care far more about their teammates than they do about themselves. And tonight, it's just such an extraordinary honor for me to be a part of this great event to honor one of my heroes, Brian Fenton. Long before we had the first soft truth, Wild Bill Donovan instinctively understood that humans are way more important than any hardware. that the right people selected, assessed, and trained, brought together as a team, can do extraordinary things. Always leading from the front, Wild Bill Donovan spent decades serving our nation. A Medal of Honor recipient, a warfighter, a diabolical leader. He combined audacity with imagination, pushing bold ideas early, often, and always, and never demanding from his teams things that he would not do himself. He always led from the front. From recruiting a diabolical team of innovative patriots from every walk of life, academics, artists, bankers, criminals, gunfighters, patriots. He trained them, built extraordinary teams, and they fought out in the darkness where no one else would go. Tonight's final award recipient, General Brian Fenton, is truly a leader built in that extraordinary example of Bill Donovan. And it's not just because they're both Irish. Brian, you are always the first to give credit to other people. I know how extraordinarily uncomfortable this night is for you, but boy, it is righteous and just for all of us to be here to celebrate you and your family tonight. You are, in fact, faster than the speed of sound and are fueled by an extraordinary mix of rippets, coffee, and nicotine, bespokely designed to keep you going 24/7, 365. I have seen this. I have been on the receiving end of it, and I'm on step 1 of my 12-step recovery process. But your superpower, my friend, isn't the Mach number of your speed. It's your ability to connect people. It's your ability to build extraordinary teams. And just like Wild Bill, it's been your life work to build teams. From the days of being a Green Beret to the things that you went on to do that we can't talk about, it's always been about the team, and it's never been about you. You've never slowed down. You've never let up. You've kept your eye on the people inside your organization and given them the tools that they need to do to go out into the darkness and run to the sound of the guns. But you've always been there with them, often on the X, often at the objective, often making sure they have what they need. You've never, my friend, and all of us know this, you've never been one to not check on your teammates, making them feel like they are the most important people at that moment. Despite how busy you are, you always make people feel like they are the most important. And there's no doubt that they are to you. Anybody that knows you and loves you knows that people are the most important thing to you. Brian, your teammates, both in the military and in the agency, would follow you anywhere. They would go into the darkness and do the things that the nation needs them to do because of your leadership. You've been an extraordinary SOCOM commander, an innovative SOCOM commander, one who will rent a fleet of Lime scooters to go check and see if that is a viable assault option. I mean, who does that? That is Wild Bill Donovan reincarnated as Brian Fenton. But it's your energetic, relentless pursuit of excellence, and always, as I said earlier, about the deed and not the glory that makes you the leader that you are today. Our nation owes you an extraordinary sense of gratitude. You have been there and done that for a long, long time, and I'm eternally grateful for the leadership that you've given all of us and the love that you've poured into the Joint Force and into the warriors inside the SOCOM enterprise, and the way that you've carried on Wild Bill Donovan's legacy. You have his spirit, you have his courage, and in a few moments you'll have his award as well. But what strikes me the most, my friend, is something that is near and dear to your soldier and your American's heart. Over and over and over again, this nation has asked you to go and your family to go with you. And you have always replied with two simple words: send me. Before I close tonight and present you with this award, I want to take a moment to remember the warriors, diplomats, and intelligence professionals right now as we are in this incredible event who are going out into the darkness to do our nation's deeds. To the case officers, the paramilitary officers, the special operations professionals who will go out into the streets, out into the desert, out into the dark waters tonight, know that we are thinking about you and your families. And let's join in a round of applause for the deployed forces. And lastly, and there are many in this room, may we remember our fallen and their families who show us what real courage, grit, and tenacity looks like. And as I said, some of them are right here in this room. Thank you for honoring us with your presence tonight. And just know we will never forget the sacrifice of your loved one or the courage that we see out of you every single day. And now, ladies and gentlemen, join me in presenting the 2025 William J. Donovan Award to General Brian Fenton. Woo!
All right. First thing I'd like to do is tell the chairman he's got a lot to learn. I don't think you hand anybody an award until you've heard their speech. I wouldn't do that. But I'm hoping I still earn it, Chairman. I am. And I know why everybody's clapping. I'm the last thing standing between you and the bar. I'd be happy as hell about that, too. I know my lovely bride is. She's looking at me, she's like, 1 minute, 1 minute. 750 people in here waiting to go to the bar. You're Irish and you're standing in front of them. And where's Dave Maxwell? Be like Donovan. Love it, love it. Because right now, Donovan would be cheering that Notre Dame is above USC 27-24. How about that, General Donovan? Let's that change. Let's that what is it? Go Trojans. I couldn't hear him. Did somebody ask him to speak up? Grab his mic. You know, as the chairman was talking over there, I wasn't ready because I'd never been to one of these events, and I'd been told that they don't start and end on the same day. Shit, it's only 10:30, 22:30 for anybody out there. So you surprised me, Chairman. So I'm glad I could hustle back to my seat. General Petraeus actually gave me a pager. He still uses a pager. I got a pager alert. He used to be my commander, so sorry, sir. We carried pagers back then in Bosnia. General Fever, thank you very much for all you've done tonight. You actually are probably going to be the reason this thing starts and stops at the same day. How about a round of applause for our incredible MC, a longtime teammate. Longtime mentor, great teammate, and one heck of a patriot, along with his lovely, lovely bride. Thank you all for being here with us today. So, Charles, Thanks for an incredible event. I know it's a labor of love, and tonight's probably been a lot of labor, and then there'll be a whole lot of love by the time I get done, all because of the incredible work that you and your team have done. I know we're all incredibly grateful, but not only for tonight, but for what you do shepherding the OSS Society and keeping the legacy alive, keeping it strong. So big round of applause from all of us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. One of a kind. And like the others, I'm absolutely honored and humbled to follow the co-honorees. Ambassador Crocker, sir, fantastic words for all of us. Thanks for being a great, great teammate to many. When General Petraeus would let us come in and see you, it was an honor to be able to get in the door. We knew you all were busy. Phil, I don't know, maybe we can confirm it here, that's ever been a 7th Special Forces group graduate who's graduated from Georgetown. Anybody here know it? Red Empire, you out there somewhere? Congratulations. And Paula Doyle, where are you, Paula? Unbelievable. Congratulations, and for all three of you. It's been an honor to see you get an award tonight. Be honored for all that you've done, much of it still really unknown, but every American, if they could peer and see it, they'd be incredibly proud to have you as our representatives, and it's been an honor to be your teammates. And it's just another round of applause for all three of you. Well done. Well done. I'm going to double down on what the chairman said just now. To the families or the children of our fallen military and national security heroes, or any of our wounded warriors that are in the audience tonight, first of all, thank you for coming. Thank you for always being amongst us and letting us be part of your journey and allowing us to walk on alongside you on your journey. You are, in all kind of ways, you're the best amongst us. You are the best of what makes us a nation. And we are forever committed to you. I agree. You inspire us each and every day. You remind us of what it is that, as a nation, that is our most sacred and solemn obligation. So on behalf of all of us, I don't think we can do this ever, ever enough. Please first know we are forever committed to you. And second, we are here for you always. And I would offer that third, please always come be amongst our midst. It is incredible inspiration. So on behalf of all of us, about a big round of applause for all those teammates and all they represent for us. Chairman, you really don't have a lot to learn. I really don't have anything to teach you. Thanks for those kind words. Well, maybe one thing. Like an OSS story, those were only 1% true. I'm really glad that there's no truth to anything you gave. He covered up all the mistakes that we all know we have, all the ups and downs, and we've been teammates for a long time. And I think all the things that really, as a human being, actually make us grow. And though none of us very often want to hear it. Chairman, thank you. Thanks for standing up here. I think all of us recognize you're one of the busiest people on the entire planet. You were here with us last night with a smaller group, and you're here again today. And on top of that, what you do for this nation, all of us would know as security professionals here, is incredibly critical for the Joint Force, for the families, for partners and allies. So thank you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all you do, Chairman. We're incredibly blessed to have this teammate part of our Joint Force and across the interagency. If I could be so bold, though, I think I might offer something. Maybe, and I gave this title to General Petraeus a while ago, but I'm snatching it back. You're the modern-day manifestation or the recruiting poster for the OSS. Because if you know Wild Bill Donovan and what he said he was looking for when he described an OSS operative, he said, and I quote, "I'm looking for folks, I'm looking for people, I'm looking for PhDs that can win in a bar fight." That's what he was looking for. Didn't care, just want a PhD in a bar fight. Now, I am not entirely sure about your PhD qualification, so I'm going to give you a pass on that. But I can attest to having seen you in lots of bar fights. More on that later. Oh. So it is great to see so many others here tonight. Lots of folks I know very well, and I've had the chance to see recently, thank goodness, throughout the national security team. Lots of folks I know very well and haven't seen in a long time. And some great new faces across the ballroom tonight. Public servants, intel community, special operations, private sector, benevolence, partner and allied nations, journalists, and many others. Each and every one of you incredibly successful in your own right and very distinguished. In fact, all of you are very, very important people. So welcome to all the VVIPs out there. Hope to catch up with folks as we go throughout the night at the bar after I get done talking. It is an honor for me to be standing up here as a representative of your Special Operations Command and accepting it on behalf of all those teammates, the Society's award for the William J. Donovan Award this evening. And standing here, I'm acutely aware that I'm not the greatest of representatives for that organization, because as the chairman said, the greatest are out on the frontier of freedom tonight, doing what any of us would want them to be doing, protecting us, watching over us. And so I'll take second place on their behalf and accept this award. Because we know in your Special Operations Command that it bears the name of a true American visionary, a man whose legacy, whose DNA echoes through our nation's history, and whose impact endures in every corner of Special Operations Command today. And Wild Bill, as he's affectionately called, was more than the founder of the OSS. He was the architect of modern American intelligence and special operations. And during his time, at a moment of global crisis, he saw potential where others saw only obstacles. He saw the power of people. He saw their resultant outcomes. And as a result, he gathered amazing Renaissance people, men and women from every walk of life, scholars, athletes, journalists, military, and others, patriots all, united in a determination to defend freedom. And while Bill Donovan's OSS team, as we've all heard and certainly many of us know, operated in the shadows, gathering intelligence, forging alliances, conducting sabotage, and supporting resistance movements in every theater of World War II. Their resourcefulness, adaptability, and boldness laid the foundation for modern special operations today, as well as our intelligence communities. And some historians, it was said earlier, or we'll hit it again, go so far as to say that the OSS may have shortened the war by up to 6 months to a year. And while many of the OSS members never wore uniforms or medals, every one of them helped shape the outcome of the war and the security of the free world. And those were dark days of the Second World War, when tyranny cast its long shadow across the globe. And the OSS, born out of necessity and in the crucible of conflict, created the blueprint for our modern intelligence community and your special operations community. And the person most responsible, we've talked about quite a bit tonight, was Wild Bill Donovan, one each, incredibly accomplished private sector individual. And as the chairman mentioned, military hero, Medal of Honor winner, and warrior, who in his own words said that the importance of the OSS lies not only in its role in hastening military victory, but in the development of unorthodox warfare, which alone constitutes a major contribution. And while I agree, Wild Bill had many, many other contributions on top of that. One of those was the formation of our intelligence and special operations ecosystems. Frankly, I would offer maybe that's one of the greatest. And we're both, the intel community and special operations community, we're offshoots, we're branches from the same OSS tree that Wild Bill Donovan planted, and he grew. And they're important branches, important offshoots, especially now. Because this past April, I had the honor, some might say the fun, sitting in front of the Senate and the House, posture testimonies. I outlined that this is the most complex, asymmetric, and hybrid threat security environment I've seen in 38 years of service. I stated that in maybe a weird twist of fate, how the shadows from the World War II era, maybe it feels eerily similar to 1939 and 1940, but those shadows were back. If they're back with different names, names like Communist China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, and multiple terrorist organizations. All significant threats, or as we've termed them in SOCOM, foes, in their own specific ways. Yet, if that wasn't enough, we're increasingly seeing a fusion of these foes, an alignment, as the chairman department calls it, working across the globe to undermine and directly challenge the United States and our partners and allies. But an antidote, maybe an antidote to that poison, to that fusion exists, because the spirit of innovation, that contribution from Wild Bill Donovan, it's alive and well within today's U.S. SOCOM. Now, we're not alone in that, but I can speak with some authority, at least 2 weeks ago, about Special Operations Command and what they do. And what I would offer is that while tools may have changed and the theaters of conflict have evolved, the OSS mission in many ways endures. Now it's just done through your modern-day Special Operations Command. Confronting the gravest of threats, empowering our global partners, and responding with agility and integrity wherever the nation needs us most. And doing it with the most incredible people our nation has. And just like the OSS, the core values of initiative, integrity, collaboration, and unwavering courage remain SOCOM's North Star. And every SOCOM teammate, especially if they've read Soft Renaissance, whether in uniform or out, they know they owe a debt. They owe a debt to the legacy of Wild Bill Donovan and the men and women of the OSS. You can see it in our hallways. You can see it in our platoon bays. You can see it in our Special Forces detachments. You can see it in our Navy SEAL teams. You can see it across the maritime environment in our Marine Corps Special Operators and our Air Force Special Operators. We all know we owe a debt to the OSS. And the men and women of your Special Operations are busier than ever as that antidote, as they dismantle terrorist organizations, rapidly respond to crisis, take on those nation-state actors alongside our U.S. interagency, diplomatic partners, and allied teammates. And yet even they depend on another team to assist. Another powerful antidote to the adversarial alignment. And I'd submit that's this team right here. The team that Charles brings together each year at this time. Because those in this room are a fusion all your own. Maybe even a current day manifestation of the OSS. A synergistic community that's needed more than ever. The brains and bravery of diplomats, intelligence community, private sector teammates, and many others in this room, along with their commitment Those are imperative to the successes of your SOCOM, your intel community, our diplomats, and frankly, our national security objectives. In a world as complex and volatile as we face today, there's no one single agency, no one single department, no single profession that can carry the weight of freedom on its own. What history demanded then, what we require now, and dare I say into the future, is a continuation of a powerful community, just like those in this room, just like this one. A community of patriots, vigilant sentinels of our republic, and in every sense of the word, siblings in service. A community of purpose and mission, fused together through an unbreakable bond, just like Wild Bill assembled. So if you're here tonight, you're part of this community of quiet professionals. You're driven by duty and by service. You're a transformative group, akin to what Charles mentioned in the beginning of his presentation. In fact, I wish all Americans could peer into this ballroom tonight, right now, and witness this impressive convergence of expertise and passion and all that we've just seen and heard. They'd be even more confident, yes, incredibly proud of the future of this great nation and of past accomplishments. So it's an absolute honor to be with you tonight and receive this award on behalf of the 70,000 men and women of your Special Operations Command. Those who came as one branch of the tree of the OSS. 7,000 of them deployed to over 80 countries at this very moment. So they and I thank you for recognizing their achievements. And because I'm close to bar time, I'll wrap up with some parting words. If you ever do find yourself in a bar fight, make sure you have Dan Kane on speed dial. He's undefeated. Don't worry about his PhD. And thank you again for this opportunity and this honor. God bless you all. God bless the United States of America. The oppresso liber.